I haven't changed them.
Fancy smancy.
Just turn it down.
I thought it was lowering it.
There we go.
Will you lower it? Okay.
It's not.
No fade out. All right. Welcome back to the Turn Left podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Ayers. With me today, very special guest, traveling modified racer, 20-plus wins, I think. We're going to talk about that. Championship modified husband, great husband. That might be debated.
That's kind of a stretch.
Yeah. Great father. Kyle Wood, everybody. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks, man.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Cool deal.
Yeah, first off, thanks for we got a listener now in Germany. We got some in UK, Singapore, Canada. Obviously, 98% of them is in the United States, so that's cool. But shout out to them. Like and share it. Hit the notification button. Almost forgot that one. I think it's a bell shape in the top. You definitely don't know.
No.
Kyle Wood doesn't do much social media, but we still love him. And find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, obviously Facebook where you're at. And either way, let's get into it. How'd you get into racing? I know that your dad used to race. Is that how you started out?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's always been a family thing. My dad started racing in, I think, 76, I believe, is when he said he started. And
wow.
Just kept on going. He ran, I think, limited sportsman when he first started, and then late model sportsman, and then late model stock cars, and then moved to the modifieds.
What is the difference between those three? Because what is that like even?
I think back in the day, the limited sportsman was kind of like almost like a limited late model.
Almost like a grand stock, or above that a little bit, but
yeah, it was kind of like the stepping stone before you got to the sportsman class.
Yeah.
And then once the sportsman was pretty much kind of like the late model stocks of the time, and then when late model stock cars came into,
those are like the super lates.
They just turned into another division that it was supposed to be. I think late model stocks was supposed to be like a cheaper, like it started getting to the point where like anything with racing, cost just keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah, I know. So that was a problem even back then, kind of.
Yeah. I think that's always been a deal with racing.
Yeah,
the more you spend, the faster you go.
The problem, yeah, I know the problem's gotten weirder because now it's just untalented people and not people giving people opportunities.
Yeah,
we don't need to get into that though, but yeah, it's a long road.
Yeah.
So your dad mostly got into it. He raced those three divisions, and I mean he's been racing for a long time. He's like, y'all were setting a record or something a couple years ago where he was like making the most races every year in a row or something for Southside.
Yeah, so he started in '76. And then he's run at least one race at Southside every year since then. He ran full-time at Southside for years and years. And then he got to where he started scaling back a little bit. But he's always made at least one race at Southside since '76.
That's incredible.
Yeah, even ironically, the last race
how many years
Southside had, what are we at now, 44, I think?
How old was he when he started? How old was your dad? In '76, let's just
18.
Easy. So he was 18 when he started.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last race of 2019 at Southside, his car wasn't ready. You know, he'd had some issues and stuff with it, so he hadn't run it all that year. So I actually put him in my car for the last race because we're out of the points.
Yeah.
You know,
that's cool, though.
So he got to make his start, which would have been his 44th in a row. And then, you know, once he did that, ironically, it was kind of the last race at Southside. So it's even cooler that he got to be a part of the last race at Southside.
Dude, that is really cool.
Looking back at it.
And how many years was it total? Sorry, you said it, but
I think 44.
Wow. So he was 62, and yeah.
Yeah, so 76.
I'm good at math sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Yeah, from 76 to 2019, he ran at least one race at Southside.
Man, I ran like 12 years at Southside. Tina was done with it. You know, not to mention 44 years.
Yeah, so it's always been a family thing. And my grandfather actually raced, you know, for a little while. You know, he didn't race stock cars as long, but he got into it for a little while. And then I think they ran go-karts for a long time too, back in the day.
And when did you get into it? Like, how old were you when you started getting into it?
We started building my first grand stock when I was 17, I think. And then I ran my first race at Southside in the U-Cars. I think it was 2001.
That was your first race at Southside? Was in the U-Cars?
Yeah.
So you hadn't driven anything before?
Mm-mm. We were in the process of building my grand stock, and then we started that, which that turned into a deal. That was, I think the guy's name was Stuart Hyder. Used to be the tech guy at Southside, and he worked at Ballas.
Uh-huh.
And funny story is when the U-Cars started, he actually built a car. But I guess they figured it probably wasn't a good idea to have the tech man racing in a division that just started.
A little biased.
Yeah. So he started.
Collusion going on?
Yeah. He built a Dodge Omni, like a little shoebox of a car.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened we're at the track, and somebody was like, "Well, see if Kyle wants to drive it." So even then, I think somebody ran home, got me a helmet from my neighbors, and then a long sleeve shirt. Like we weren't even wearing race
Yeah, it
suits.
was back then. It was almost like the Enduros way back in the day. It was like,
Yeah, you just
was there even a cage?
yeah, they still had cages and stuff like that. But I think we started by draw. We practiced in it, and my first race ever, I made it to turn 3 and then got in a wreck. So I didn't even finish the lap.
There was a lot of cars back then, though, too. And it was your first race, and did you even have much practice before that?
Just that day.
Yeah, because that was my problem, is there was no, like, I practiced once the track, and then there was, no, in fact, back in the day, there was no practices for our classes. It was just you draw and then you race.
Right,
there was
just
no,
went out there and went.
Yeah, for our street stock class. It was literally just draw and race. There was no day of practice at all. All the
Right.
other divisions did, but they were like scum. So that wasn't the time when you were racing the U car for Bud and Jennifer Allen.
No,
That was later on.
Yeah, and I think that might have been the same year.
Okay, because you had me shook for a second. I'm like, damn, they let you like, wow. And then you won, because I knew that you won that race in the U car. But we'll get back to that later. So
Yeah.
that was after you'd been racing, or
No, so that was the same year. So I drove that one race and then wrecked the car, and then they pretty much I'm like, oh, we're good. We'll figure out something else to do with it, which was fine. Well, Bud had the 87, then he built another Dodge Charger.
the backup car.
Yeah, the gray one, I think, was number 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it or not, I think Kenny Allen was actually at my dad's shop, and they were talking about something like that. And I think even Kenny said something about, well, Kyle want to drive it some, or something like that. Because they were putting different people in it, just to have it out there.
Yeah.
So I ran it a couple times at Southside. I think I won in it once at Southside, but we actually did take it to Langley, and the first U-Car race I ever had at Langley, we actually won that one in
Yeah.
that car.
That's what
So
I
that
heard.
was actually pretty cool.
And that was all the same year?
Yeah, I think
Before
so.
you had even started technically racing?
Yeah, because I didn't start running Grand Stocks until 2002. So yeah, that was all in 2001. So
Right,
it was cool to be able to win the
your
first
race.
Yeah,
You didn't even own the car or anything. You didn't
Yeah.
have to.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's still when Southside they had switched and they were running on Saturday. So my dad was racing at Southside on Saturday night, and we went down to Langley with the U cars. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't even barely remember that. Southside was running on a Saturday?
yeah, I think they switched for a couple years. I think they went to Saturdays.
And they were doing like Sunday enduro races and stuff like that for a while, though, too.
Yeah, they did those back
Long
in the
time
day.
ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
way back in the day.
So, I guess tell me about your Grand Stock career. You got started in that. How old were you at this time?
So I just graduated, so I was right around 18, 19 years old. So I started in Grand Stocks in 2002, and we ran Grand Stocks 2002, 2003. But that was back when the Grand Stocks, we had like 24, 25
Yeah,
every week.
and they were legit.
yeah.
They were like better off street stocks, not some crazy.
Right, yeah. Not the wild stuff you see some of the guys have now. But but that was a blast when we
Insane.
ran that. And I never really did too much with those. I mean, I was running against, Tommy Tatum and these Randy Adams guys have been racing them for years, and Donnie Newmans, and,
Yeah, legends.
trying to keep up with them, just really getting
As a
getting
rookie,
my feet
too.
wet. Yeah.
And you'd only run, 4 U-Car races, not even.
Right, yeah.
3.
Maybe,
Yeah.
something like that.
How many times have you been around Southside, even, I guess, before your first race?
Like driving-wise?
Did you ever wreck the Grand Stock? Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, but
Yeah,
a
we
lot.
wrecked the Grand Stock.
I did too. I wrecked the street stock like 4 times in the first race. So.
Yeah, we didn't have too many instances, for the most part. Like one of the biggest ones we did, we actually went out for qualifying one time. Literally, as soon as I got on the track, the right rear axle snapped and shot off.
Well, that's not your fault.
Yeah, so it was one of the first times I think that I was like in the air, the car landed, and I was like
What happened?
sitting there, and I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like the tire's gone.
No, that happened to me once because I had a welded rear end and it snapped the whole axle out of it and went around like a helicopter. All right, well, so you just ran Grand Stock for only 2 years then?
Yeah,
And then you moved straight up to modified?
Yeah. So my dad was started driving the modifieds for Pop Moore that he used to drive late models for back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And we all grew up around. He was one of those guys that could take anything and just make it work.
Yeah. And your dad was still racing full-time at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm So my dad was driving one of Pop's cars, and then he had another car. So he had 2 cars. And I think at the end of 2003, they let me start and park it a couple times because my dad won the championship in '02. So they were doing twin nights and stuff. So they would bring both cars out there just to make sure in case something broke the first one. So they let me start and run some, that year.
That's dope.
And then after that was over, then Pop came to me and said, you want to buy the car, I'll make you. And he gave me a smoking deal,
Mhm.
almost gave the thing to me.
Yeah.
And that's the
Where
old
it all
dog.
started.
Yeah.
Same car.
Yeah, that's the same car.
That's what I had a later question about the old dog, and that's where it kind of like where did that car come from, and why is it the old dog? So that car was That's been your forever car.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
So in my racing career, I've had 2 race cars.
Whoa.
Since '02.
And you've been racing, like what, 19 years now?
Yeah.
Bang. We did that on purpose. I just started my podcast last year, but I was like, we got to wait for Kyle Wood's 19th season. Either way, all right, so did you instantly have success in the modifieds?
No.
I would guess not. Nobody does. I mean, but especially, just like Grand Stock, and really modifieds have done pretty well the whole time, but back then I was just watching a race the other day, and I was like, oh my God. It was horrifying how many modifieds there were.
Yeah.
I mean,
it used to be a huge field, and when I first started running, I think that was the year that I don't think late models were out there. I think they had stopped running late models, so Dotson was running modifieds. Billy Morris was running modifieds. I
remember seeing a picture of that.
I don't know if Eddie was still running modifieds at the time, but Eddie had been running them, and so I was still racing against all these guys that were just good anyways, and then you had my dad in the mix, stuff like that.
And was your dad winning races at the time when you were struggling?
Yeah.
Similar cars, or were you a little bit underfunded, under-equipped?
I mean, the cars, his was a handful of years newer, but he's got so much more experience, and I was just learning, trying to figure out how to drive them.
Yeah, and modified's a worst car to try to learn on. A handful, not to mention.
Yeah, and back then too, we were running. I think we were still running heat races, so we weren't even qualified. We were drawing for positions.
Oh.
So every once in a while, I'd draw a good number for a heat race and watch all the other guys sit there and shake their head and be like, "Oh, we gotta pass him. He's just gonna be in the way.
He better not wreck in front of me." All right, can I ask you, because this is not on the list, obviously, because I was young. 2004, I was like 12 or 13. Why were they not racing late models for a while?
I think it was right about the time that they got rid of the NASCAR sanction.
Okay.
And when they got rid of the NASCAR sanction, the late model guys, they were going to go elsewhere anyways. And then the car counts had gotten down. I guess the payouts weren't that great, and the car count just dropped. So they figured, try to go with something more economical with the modifieds. And a handful of people switched to them, and there was already a bunch of them out there anyway. So I think that was the reason.
But then they ended up bringing back, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. So when did you finally start to find some success in modified, and what do you think brought it on?
I'd say probably we started running better around like 2006, I guess. Like I said, experience is, more than anything, And then, of course, money, with any type of racing, you got to have the funding to do it. We got hooked up with Frank Silva in, I think, 06, 07.
Hold on one second. Whoever's calling in, wait a couple minutes. Sorry.
So we hooked up with Frank Silva in like 06, 07. And funny story, like Brent, his girlfriend at the time was a bartender at Taylor's.
Okay.
And Frank was at Taylor's a lot and got to talking, and I think he said something about sponsoring a car. So Lauren told Brent, and it's like, you need to talk to him. Well, Frank and his wife came over to the garage one day, and he's like, looked at the car. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, I never really had any sponsors per se. I was like, whatever y'all can give would be awesome.
$100,000.
Yeah, that'd be like perfect. So he literally left and came back like maybe an hour later with a check for like $200-300. And he's like, here, there's something, to just help, And I was like, I was like, man, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And he left, and, me and Brenda danced around like schoolgirls, like, man,
we got
somebody just gave us money. Somebody gave us money.
We got to spend 50 of it on decals, but fuck it. We drank $100 more tonight because we got a sponsor, but it's all good.
Well, at the time, we were going through Milwaukee's best, so, we weren't spending that much money on alcohol.
True.
But, yeah, and then he just kind of came in, and we just ended up hitting it off and becoming real great friends. And he was rolling, doing good stuff, and he just kept helping me. He bought me a motor.
So you just met him at Taylor's one night and said, "Hey, I race," and he said,
like,
"All right."
I didn't even do it. Like I said, I wasn't even really a part of it until he came over. Yeah, and then him and Brent got to talking and hanging out, and then he got more involved, and then obviously he started racing, and then Rusty Bennett, gets involved, and then of course
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and then.
That was going to be one of my questions: is how did you get involved with the sponsorship of Silva Paint? And just because I know that since I've been a fan of you since before I could even drive, because my brothers were fans of you before I could drive, because they were kind of in the clique with, Brad or Hollywood or whoever,
right?
And you, so I just always rooted for you because that's, I guess, who they told me to, and then I stuck to it. And
perfect. That's the best. That's usually the best way to go.
Now I decide for myself, and I still root for Kyle Wood. Okay, but I did always anyway.
Yeah.
But and then obviously just realizing that Silva Painting's been with you forever, so I know that it must be a big part of the operation, or at least a question I had to ask. But and we'll ask about the PBR later. Or actually, just ask about it now. How did the PBR get incorporated?
Well, I'm just glad he finally took a sip of it.
Check him out. Yeah, I was going to say. He's
rocking
got
the PBR gear.
By the way, we got Hollywood in the back. Lindsay. We let us name drop everybody. Amanda. Okay. No, I know Amanda. I just don't want to name drop too many people. We got Tina in the back as well. We don't know if I'm going to say too many cuss words. People are going to get fired from their jobs.
Tina's an alibi on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like he tends to fly off the wall.
It was a lot worse at the beginning. Thought I was Bill Burr for a couple months. So, where did the PBR sponsorship come from? And thank you for the hat that I am rocking. I'm covering up my awesome bowl mullet, and we got T-shirts over there too. But I didn't have time to put that on because you wouldn't want to cover this up.
I mean, that's pretty stout right there. Pretty stout.
Jesus, woo,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, and that's just a short prayer.
PBR has been awesome too. Once again, I've been so fortunate with sponsors that I've had, and I've had a bunch of them for years. Like you said, Frank, Virginia Veterinary Surgical Associates, which has changed now, over the hands, but the guy's still helping me. Those all came from my sister. She was huge at getting me a lot of the sponsors that I still have now.
Well, that's cool.
And then with Frank and everything, and then PBR just happened with the late model deal that I've been driving every once in a while for Richard Mosier. So Andy Newsom is the one that set that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I think you told me that last time, but yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so Andy actually set that up and had known the guy Jade, the regional guy, before through somebody, or got him talking.
Yeah.
And we had literally just moved the late model over to Brent's house. But the late model's in pieces.
It used to be over off Old Hundred Road or whatever at your parents' house or whatever?
Well, Richard used to have it. He used to have a shop off Staples Mill.
Sometimes you'd keep it, though, over at...
Yeah, we got stuff scattered everywhere, so it's moved
the trailer,
everywhere.
where does the trailer stay?
That usually stays at my dad's, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, I'd say we got numerous of those, too. True. None of them too
Sorry
great, but they're still there. But yeah, so we had just moved the car to Brent's to help, put it all together. Because that's one thing Richard, asked me to drive a couple years ago, and I was like, I love to, but I can't bring you any money. I said, all we can do is work on it, maintain it. If we wreck something, we can fix it. And he's like, perfect, that's all we need. So the car's literally in pieces. Well, he calls me and said Andy had hooked up this deal with the PBR people, and they wanted to come over and look at the car. And I'm like, the car's doesn't even have a body on it.
What?
But
not really a car, it's more of a chassis.
Yeah. So him and the regional distributor lady came over, or whatever, and we just got to BS and talking. And he's like, we'll give you, what are you looking for? So we said something about some money, He's like, well, not really giving out money. He's like, but you like beer? You like PBR? I was like, I like any beer. He's like, yeah, I like PBR. I like beer. So so they just kind of hooked up with us, and
I'm thinking I can swallow
it. Yeah, so they give us beer, that's the best thing.
No, it is good. Trust me, I drink it.
Yeah,
and I wear the hats too.
Yeah, so they still, whenever we go somewhere, we went to Florida last year, and if he's in town, drops off 6-8 cases. And
you got PBR pop-up tents and everything. That's how you got a lot of PBR stuff. It's not just that. You got T-shirts, pop-up tents.
So it gives us a lot of merch to give out and stuff like that. We got the 2 Easy Ups, and then he actually really helped me up last year. He stepped up and he actually bought me my new helmet, my Hans suit, and all that stuff. So
sweet.
That was huge because that stuff's expensive. So
yeah, and they're now sponsoring this podcast. Shout out to Pat's Blue Ribbon, new sponsorship coming our way.
Mm-hmm. There you go, label out.
Yep. See this hat I'm wearing? I will take this off. Just kidding. Next episode I will if I don't have a sponsorship. I'll probably keep it though and hang it on the wall. Why the number 19? Was that your dad's number?
My dad ran it for a while, but my grandfather also ran it. So that was my grandfather's number.
It's your third generation racer. I think you already said that, but I didn't tap into it.
Yeah, I got one picture that I saved. I know you got pretty good at holding it up to the camera or whatever, but it's one of my grandfather's old.
Yeah, pull that out. That's cool. He's going to like that.
What kind of car is it?
It's an old coupe, I guess. I don't even know.
Just in case they can't see it, because my
it's going to be kind of
shaky siggy hands,
Yeah. But I think my dad said this was at Mount Zion Crossroads Raceway or something like that back in the day.
And what were you going to say? Your dad, that's what you were going to say, is your dad said that this is where this was?
Yeah.
Is your grandfather still alive?
No.
Okay.
No.
What year was this?
We don't even know. It's old, though.
1759.
That's still one of the coolest pictures that that we still have of it.
And that's number 19. If y'all can't see it, it's a cool picture, but number 19 is significant for this part of the story, obviously.
Yeah.
But that is awesome, dude.
So that's
I wonder,
where it came
that's
from.
Insane.
Yeah. I think the story my dad told, and he might call in or something later and tell me I'm wrong, but I think he said he was running.
C921.
I don't know who that is.
Whoever that is, just call in a little bit. Sorry, we were in it thick.
Yeah, so I think he said that he was racing somewhere, and of course back in the day, like the flagmans, they were like on the track or whatever. And I think they said the flagman got too close, and somebody ran over him and like took his leg or something like that. And my grandmother was like, "That's it, we're done. Like you're done with the stock car stuff." So they went back to go karts.
Whoa.
Yeah. So how would you like to be?
For
at
the
a
record,
race?
he doesn't mean that he ran over his leg and it broke off. He took it, put it in the car, and took it with him.
And just carried it
He
around.
took his leg. Yeah, he's like, this is mine now.
Yeah, so I think that's what my grandmother said. We're done with the stock car stuff.
Wow.
Who could imagine?
Wow.
Not ready for that.
Damn, dude,
That's
turned you
wrong,
into a
laughing.
pirate.
That man lost his leg. You laughing about it?
Oh, dude, Tina? Dude, ridiculousness is on repeat in our... Dude, I'm telling you right now, all she loves is somebody in pain. Or de-limbed. Beheaded? She doesn't laugh at that. That's too much. But if it's de-limbed or broken back, spinal injury, anything very, life-changing, very funny to
At this
her.
point, I feel like all three of them would. I mean,
If you die,
Hey, everybody back there.
that's a little too much for her for some reason. But, life-changing injuries...
so she has a line
That'd be good.
somewhere.
If you cut off a finger, she just giggles. But
We're not sacrificing any limbs tonight.
yeah, nobody's dying tonight for your entertainment, Tina. Sorry.
Really are.
You can cut off your own arm. See if that can get
See how that goes.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
She's sawing off the dog's leg right now, laughing. All right. Tina's gonna pass out.
I was about to say she's about done.
So the 19, that was your grandfather's number.
Yeah.
So we pretty much went through your whole career of like your progression through the whole career. This is a good question. I got.
Still going.
Keep it together back here. Go outside, Tina. She had 97 PBRs for the show.
And she got another 24 outside. So
Oh yeah, he brought some PBRs for the show. By the way, Tina.
That's the best gift I've ever been.
I wish
Yes,
y'all
sir.
could see her.
What's
She
the-
is literally in tears, crying, laughing.
She did this earlier today too. I made a joke about like her snapping our child's neck, and she laughed really hard. She's not gonna stop now.
Hey, can we
This is
edit?
some really
Can we
sick
edit that out?
Yeah. Can we get a therapist? Can we get Dr. Drew in house next week? Or Dr. Phil? Somebody? I don't know. Sorry, Kyle.
this is perfect.
This place is out of control.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Hitting the skids.
Wouldn't expect anything different.
Really sorry.
It's all good. Just say, I know it's gonna be. There's a third wave coming. We know it. She's
Just
gonna,
a matter of time.
Yeah.
She's fighting it.
This is like Corona. You gotta wait for that third and fourth wave pass, and you can get back to
To
it.
go back on.
All right. This is like the most serious question to ask somebody after the most
Look,
laughter.
we might as well just stop because she's starting.
I'm gonna have to ask a
Still gonna
different
go.
question. I'm gonna have to ask a different question.
I have to jump down the list.
All
on
right,
that.
yeah. What's your favorite win of all time? Different question. I'll get back to that one. I'll circle it.
The favorite
Don't
win.
read it.
I guess it's always like everybody says like the first one, but for
Yeah.
like me, it was definitely the first one. The first time I won, I guess at Langley was really cool because it was the first race I ever had there for that division. So I mean that's
Second race ever or
Yeah,
something,
so that's pretty awesome to say. Hey, we're the first time winner in a new division. But
You
Southside,
still hold that record.
yeah,
Think about it.
yeah, they can't take that away.
Never. And you didn't even know that you were like I said, you'd only raced one time before.
Right? Yeah. So
Shout out to Bud and Jennifer Gee. I don't even know
Wait,
what.
so we've got Southside bookends right here. The first and the last.
No, this is Langley.
yeah, this was
Oh,
a
I'm
Langley.
sorry.
Yeah, but the real one, I guess, would probably definitely the first modified win at Southside.
All right, we got a 9-1-2.
All right.
Can we answer it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. I just feel like.
Well, you asked them to call back. They did. So.
Hold on, let me turn it on. Yeah, they did. Hello.
Hello?
what's up?
They answer.
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Hello, you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Is that Rod? You just hung back up?
Wait, what was the number?
Well, I'll take that part out. We'll just
They
try to
don't
do
know,
it.
they probably don't realize there's a delay.
What was the number?
Oh,
They're
no.
watching
Yeah.
the podcast thinking that you haven't picked up yet.
No, they should.
They should have been able to pick
It
it
might
up.
have been the setup. If they call,
It was
no, let's
912
call them
something.
back.
Yeah, there you go. Make it easy.
Tell the story really quick about your favorite win. It was Langley. It
Oh
was,
yeah. So the first one was Southside. Was we won 2 in one night. That was the first time they did the triple
that
30s
was- Yes.
in 07. And we were able to hold off like Billy Morris and Thomas Stinson.
Yeah, that should have been a
Yeah.
punchline. We ruined it with the call.
Yeah.
The man won 2 races in one night. His first modified win was followed by his second modified win.
Yeah. And that was awesome because Frank was like a big part in helping us get there.
Hello, can you hear me?
You there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Stop ringing.
What? Who's partying right now? There's music.
Can't hear you.
They're
we
That
can
sounds
hear y'all.
that sounds like
yeah,
Patrick
they're
Fisher.
listening through the podcast.
yes.
That
and
sounds like
they're
Patrick
expecting to
Fisher.
hear me through the podcast thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like
He's
that.
listening to the phone. What is he right there outside?
No,
Why do you say that? Okay.
no. Lindsay said that's what it sounded like.
just like
It does
It
sound
might
like.
sound like that.
All right, the 912 number is now not being accepted. Sorry.
Get it together.
Yeah, we're not blocking him, but either
You
way.
got to go outside the garage and call.
Yeah. All right, so like I said, you're literally you never won a Grand Stock race.
No,
Me
we never
neither.
won a
Don't
Grand
feel
Slam
bad.
race.
So,
Yes, Michael Johnson said it's Patrick trying to call.
all right, Patrick. Sorry, try to call from somebody else's phone. I don't know if you're having phone problems, but now I've just got mine literally on. You know, what I mean, I can just hold it up to the thing. It's just a regular phone, so it's not wired through the thing. You never won a race in Grand Stock, neither did I.
No.
But you moved up into modified. How long? What year was that twin modified race? 'Cause I remember that. I was at the track that night. I don't think I was. I can't remember what year was that.
That was 07.
Yeah, so I wasn't old enough to be driving yet or anything like that, but I was watching, obviously, and was like, I rooted for you before that even. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't driving yet probably 2 or 3 years before I started driving. I was already rooting for you just because of the Silva thing and the whole, my
Right,
brothers
yeah.
and Brad and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to go to Daytona a lot together every year.
Yeah. We've Frank went a handful of times, a couple times with us, but yeah, like me, my dad, Brent, Pop Moore, we started going with them. I started going in 2000. I think it was 2000. We used to take a modified down there, and my dad would run.
Really?
That car, actually.
Really? The old dog?
Yeah, would run some. But we had been going since 2000.
Wow.
Every year. And then last year was the first year we took my car because we always go to New Smyrna. I was like, every year we're in the stands watching, drinking beer. It's like, man, we got to bring the car one year. It's like we know we don't have the motor, we know we can't really compete with these guys, but let's just do it.
It's like racing at Bristol. You kind of have to.
Right.
It's an experience.
Yeah, so we did, and we weren't the slowest, we weren't by no means the fastest, but of course the first night there's a wreck in turn 1. We actually missed the wreck, and some guy that was in the very back just plows us in the back and messed us up pretty much for the week. And we ran one more race, just kind of riding more or less.
Miserable.
Yeah, but it was still fun to do.
Still experience, like I said. You didn't expect to win the race anyway.
Nah,
But still, it could have gone a lot better than that.
Yeah.
So either way, you pretty much switched to modified in 2004. 2007, you won your first twin 30s race. Was that at the beginning of the season, end of the season?
I think it was somewhere towards the middle.
Did you run for
because
points that year? How did you
I think
fare
we
that
did.
way?
I think we ended up finishing like 6th or 7th, something
Okay.
like that.
Still a badass feat.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
if your
Oh,
first
yeah.
modified win, because that was your first win since the U car. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you're in a modified.
Yeah.
That's a white knuckle ride.
Yeah, and racing with a bunch of like
Legends,
badass
yeah.
guys, man. Like
Crazy badasses.
Yeah. So that was probably
Don't
about
cuss.
the middle of 07. Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry, Mom. I know she's watching.
Dude.
She's
My mom is too, bro. Don't. She didn't care.
We can confirm that was Patrick that was trying to call in. He wants to know what you're going to do next year.
What am I going to do next year? Right now, I guess we're planning on going to Langley. We'll get the car ready and try to race down there.
You've ran a lot of Langley, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we've gone on and off over the years. Believe it or not, I've never run a full season anywhere besides Southside.
I could,
so,
dude,
I mean-
it's so hard to run a full season out of town.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You know,
Nobody would think about doing that from around here up until this year when Southside was closed.
Right, yeah. And especially, like, it's 5 minutes from the
Most
house.
people still didn't do that,
You know,
even then.
Even when Southside was running, a bunch of people would complain, well, the payout's no good, and this, that, and the other. It's like, but it's 5 minutes from my house. Like,
It's so easy.
you
Yeah,
know, I'm
like
not
the
going to
payout
pay to
wouldn't-
drive, to Langley every weekend.
It's more expensive to travel and win
Right.
more.
When I could just be home on Fridays.
Especially
You know.
when you travel and don't win more, then you come. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you don't win the championship or don't win the race that night, yeah, payout's great. But if I finish third and I have to come all the way back home, or if I tear up my stuff and I have to come all the way back home, I still have to pay all that traveling cost. Or even if it's way out of town overnight,
Right.
I've seen you at South Boston. I've seen you at
Yeah. We've done plenty of traveling. Like, we always ran Southside full time. Oh, there he is again. Maybe.
I can't. I mean, I can try, but he better fucking. Sorry, Kyle's mom.
Yep.
Jesus,
See, that wasn't
Mama
me.
Wood.
It wasn't me.
Gee, sorry, Kyle's mom. What's her name?
Mama
Said it.
Wood.
Mama Wood.
Hello. What's
Hey,
up,
there he
buddy?
is.
What's up, buddy? What you got for us?
Hello.
Is this Patrick?
He's a few drinks in.
I told you, man. It's not a. This is just a regular phone at this point.
I think he's watching the podcast, waiting to hear his voice. Probably.
Yeah,
on the-
yeah.
But it's
Same
a
thing. Work
delay.
like that.
It's a major delay.
Like we've already said this though.
Yeah.
Fucking 4 times.
Right.
Fudging 4 times. Sorry, Kyle's mom. Don't watch any of the previous podcasts to this one.
Ethan doesn't care. That's her favorite word.
No, my mom, Kyle's mom.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, like we did our fair share, but we've never like run a full season anywhere else. Like we ran the tour
seen
back
you
in the
at
day.
Kinley,
We run the tour, but we'd run 4 or 5 races.
which
a year.
tracks do those consist of?
We've been to like East Carolina, Coastal Plains.
All that was part of the tour.
Yeah, Motor Mile.
So yeah, traveling modified racer at the least. I mean,
Yeah, we've made our way around. Langley, we always try to hit like 5 or 6 races, depending on how
Yeah.
much money we'd have.
you
to run
ran
out
well because like when I was at Kinley, that one time, I've only been once, but you were there.
there. Right.
And I think you finished second, and you might have even could have won. I mean, it was maybe the Thanksgiving Classic. I can't
That's
remember,
usually
but
the only time we go down there.
Really?
Thanksgiving Classic. Yeah. Yeah,
that
we've
was
always had
tight,
good
though, dude.
success. Yeah,
There was a lot of cars.
Yeah, we've always had success down there for the most part. We drove Mr. Holman's a 42 car a couple years ago and had motor issues one year, and one year I think we finished 5th. But I mean, I've always enjoyed going to different places.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about Okay, this is a different number. Hello, talk to me. What you got? Please talk to me.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God, he's trying from a different phone.
You doing a great job, dude.
What's up, buddy? What did you say?
You do a great job. I love the podcast.
Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. You do a good job too now that you got a different phone. What's up with you? Do you
Not
have
on the
any
same
questions
page.
for us?
I guess my phone must be a piece of doo doo.
Yeah, it's
Kyle Wood.
Yes, sir. What's happening, bro?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
What
we're
are you gonna do next year?
Langley bound, I think. That's where we're gonna start at. If we
You're there, definitely, dude. I love you, man. You're a great race car driver. You got the widest race car when you're leading a race, and I don't blame you. I love it.
Hey, I appreciate it, bud. That old dog is wide and heavy, man.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
When the car's like 40 years old.
I think it's 60. I think we just talked about it.
I think one more year and I can go run the Southern Ground Pounders with Mac. I'm pretty sure. I think we're right on that cusp. We're close to it.
You run both divisions in one night.
It's the same car my brother drove, right?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
Maybe your uncle and your grandpa too.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's been a lot of guys that have driven that car over the years.
Wait,
That
did
car's got a lot of memories.
Yeah,
did he say his
And,
Patrick's
and a
brother
lot,
drove
and
that
a
car?
lot of knowledge, too.
I think Paul Fisher, he drove that one a couple times.
Paul Fisher drove that one?
Michael Johnson. Where are you racing next year, buddy? He said Langley.
Langley. That's where all the Langley, or that's where all the modifieds are going is to Langley, huh?
Yeah.
Should have
I
a
guess
big
so.
field.
Where else you gonna go?
That's pretty much it. Either that or I'm gonna sell everything, get a dirt car, and start running at Saluda.
Hey, that ain't a bad idea.
Where are we gonna find you at, Patrick?
Oh, Charlie.
Wherever they need a spotter, but I'm not Spotter Bob, I tell you that.
But you're not Spotter Bob. You're Spotter Pat. You're Spotter Pat, bro.
I Spotter Mohawk.
The Mohawk man.
Hey, the prettiest
Spotting from heaven.
Hey,
Hey.
Prettiest hair and the prettiest toenails in the pit.
I will
Yeah.
give you the credit. You got the toenails.
What
you got
color
those
is
covered.
toenails this week?
I saw them janks on Fans Only earlier this week, dude. They were looking good.
How much did it cost you?
$5.
$5.
It's the deal.
Like, are you gonna run any late models this year, Kyle?
Yeah, I think so. Believe it or not, we already went and tried to run one late model race and went all the way down to Florence, South Carolina with it. Things didn't work out, but had transmission and clutch issues. But yeah, I think we're going to try to run some. We'll try to run some at Langley, and I guess it really depends on Richard Mosier, what he wants to do. If he's got tire money, we're going to go race it somewhere. See whatever happens.
Hey, if it's somewhere to turn left, let's go.
Hey, I'll race anything, buddy.
I know you will. Hey, that's the way I feel. As long as they turn to left, let's go.
Yep, we're good to go.
All right, Patrick. We love you, buddy. Hit us up. Yeah, call us next Saturday, too. Let us know what's up. Call from this phone, not that other one.
You ain't lying. I don't know what the hell wrong.
All right, all right, bro. Well, hit us up next week, brother. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I'll take another beer.
A beer assistant.
Patrick Fisher, everybody. We love him. Everybody knows him. The Mohawk Man. The
that throw.
you know him. You know who he is.
Everybody knows him.
Oh, yeah, he finally got in touch with us. It only took 9 tries, but he finally got us. He called from a different phone. That was a pay phone he found outside of the Wendy's on Old 100 Road or something. I don't know.
It sounds like they're probably all hanging out in Michael's garage right now.
Yeah,
That's probably
it's
what they're doing.
Look, it's a different number. We'll answer this one. Oh,
Yeah.
the same guy. Hello?
He actually just had to come over here and step inside the studio, and we acted like he was on the phone. He was sitting right there.
That's good
all right.
stuff.
Favorite win was obviously we talked about it at in now.
Yeah.
The dual, 30s, and then before that was the first ever win was Langley U-Cars.
Yeah.
What about your
Uh-oh.
What about your favorite
Disconnected.
favorite win of everybody else?
I think it was actually a triple 30, wasn't it? You won the first and the third one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still just as badass, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy
that's
though.
right.
Triple 30s in one night.
Oh, that was
Well,
fun.
yeah, that's
Fudge
what
that.
we used to run, yeah. Triple
Oh, my
30s.
God.
They did it like 2 or 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
All right, so favorite, I guess NASCAR driver. We'll start off with that. Favorite NASCAR driver then and now, old school.
I was always a fan of Ward Burton. I don't know why, but I just kind of gravitated to him back when he was running. Believe it or
But
not,
Jeff Burton or anything.
I mean, I had some Jeff Burton stuff, but I was never really, even as
Jeff
a
Burton was
kid.
a Yankee compared to him. You know?
They grew up on 2 different sides of that. Two
Yeah.
different ends
War
of the
was on
house.
the southern
Yeah.
side of the house. That's for
Exactly.
sure. In the basement.
But I never really had a driver per se, like NASCAR wise. Like I like the Burtons. I like Clint Boyer. It seems like everybody that I kind of like seem like to like them, they retire. So
Yeah.
even
now, you don't have anybody.
not really. Like I said, we really don't keep up with it too much. We do a drawing every week, and that's like motivation to watch it just to see if we can win money.
So you do like a pool and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You
that's
thinking about doing? Have you ever done NASCAR? Fantasy NASCAR?
I'm doing it next year with Josh.
Are you?
Yeah,
My brother.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, he posted it on Facebook, and one of the rare times that I
It's
actually
cool.
responded.
Yeah, it's
I was
fun.
like,
I'm
hey.
gonna do it too. Just I won it one year, so I'm hyped about it. Do you do fantasy football too?
Yeah, we do fantasy football. Yeah,
Sweet. Who's your football team?
I mean Washington.
My
football
bad.
Team. I'm wearing the sweatshirt.
Who's your football team? The football team. Sorry.
The PC Washington football team.
Yeah, my bad.
The new merch right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. My bad.
Politically correct.
Yeah.
All right. So, who's your favorite local driver in each division? We usually go through this from bottom to top. Actually, we switch every time. I don't even know why I said that.
Right.
We'll just go bottom to top.
Bottom top.
Ugar
Right.
or Bandolero,
Bandoleros.
if you know any of them.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
my buddy Danny, his son Tristan.
Go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Shouldn't be watching. Tristan Brunelli, he just started racing this year, and Dad Danny were good friends or whatever. So
Okay.
we started helping him. So, obviously we're pulling for him. But I still think any like the Bandolero kids are. I think half of them are like crazy, and then they just look funny when they get out of the cars. They're so little, and their helmets
Yeah, I
almost
know.
like.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know.
top heavy.
Yeah, but then they get in them and they run around tracks at 60, 65 miles an hour like it's nothing.
Some of them are like sideways coming off the corner and
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, dang.
So all of them are pretty
I
cool.
might have
But,
spun that one.
but we're working with Tristan, and I think he's going to be pretty good. He's really into it, really likes it. Of course,
That's the one with your paint job. Yeah,
Yeah.
how did I forget? Of course, that's your favorite.
yeah. Even
That's
put
badass.
the 6-pack racing on the spoiler and everything like
What?
that. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know if that's allowed. That's just from the movie reference, huh?
That movie, and then that was our team back in the day.
And 6-pack of PBR or what?
Yeah, everybody
Before
always
or
said-
after the race, huh?
Yeah, everybody always said 6-pack. We should have been case because
24-pack racing.
Yeah, we put it down pretty good.
Keg.
All right, UCAR. Or Legends. Nobody cares about Legends. Sorry, Tommy Jackson, but let's go there next.
And Legends, I really don't keep up with too much.
He's the only one that they care about in Legends, so
Yeah.
no offense to him, but other than you, Tommy Jackson, nobody cares about the Legends.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I do watch all the races. I mean, I
don't watch that one.
care for the Legends too much, but I still keep up with them. But Tommy Jackson, obviously, he's good. He wins everywhere. I like the other guy, Chris Lilly. He's like number 27. He's always kind of got his car it's like a multicolour,
like
changes
purple
the color.
stuff.
Yeah,
He is cool. Yeah,
and he's always right there with those guys.
And
no
he's been
matter where
around
he
for a while
goes.
too. He's been running with. He's the only one pretty much that can run with.
With Matthews and Jackson. Yeah, and they go places. Yeah,
And they travel a lot too, just because it's a touring series. Because it's not even Southside rules; with those INX rules.
Yeah, it's INX, so they can pretty much go wherever they want and race. Which, man, I wish every place was like that.
Why wouldn't it be? It's so silly not
You
to.
would think that tracks at this point in time would have gotten together and said, these are the divisions. Pick one. You can go wherever you want.
That makes way too much sense.
So.
All right, so UCAR.
UCars.
Can't pick me.
Yeah. I want to pick you.
He wasn't going to. I'm offended. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just let him pick.
You spoke
All right,
too
from
much.
now on, if somebody picks me, I'm going to let him pick me. I'm going to take that compliment. I'm going to say, you can't pick me. I'm going to move on.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. My B. One time I had just Tino on the podcast. I was like, hey, you can't pick me. It was like a given.
One gunner.
I didn't say that to Dotson last week, and he straight up did not pick me out of everybody. He's like, Dotson, he named off all these people, and I was not one of them. I'm like, hey, well, what am I going to do, At least he came on. I like watching him.
Yeah. It's something else. Yeah, appreciate you having me on. I mean, you bring me in right behind two rock stars, Buck Roos and Chris Dotson.
Oh, dude, no problem.
It's like everybody's probably saw me and they're
Behind
like,
two rock stars.
we go watch this guy now? No.
No, dude, I thought you were a rock star. I mean, who else wants to have on? I mean, you're the modified traveling guy. You won championships. You won plenty of races. You've got the old dog. And like I said, I've been a fan of you since I was like 12. So, I mean, what am I supposed to do? And, I mean, I don't like your football team, but that's okay. I mean, I can get past that. I just learned that 5 minutes ago in the air, and I can't fist fight you here, so we'll do it later.
But I bought you beer.
That's true. Now I can't. Yeah, Tina's got beer. That's good.
Brought the boss the beer.
Yeah.
UCars, I probably have to say Jamie. Jamie
Knight?
Yeah. I've always liked
that
Jamie.
was my pick. Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I'll tell you one, I don't know if he really classifies UCars anymore, because I think it's more mini stock, but dude, Jesse Jones.
Sure. Yeah. No, he's a mini stock guy now.
I mean, but that dude, you talk about somebody who wants to race and just
Traveling,
goes, man.
I like that, dude. I
mean,
respect him a lot for how many places he goes, and you know what I mean, like just how much work he does on different teams and different cars. I mean, he's got the Toyota that he worked on for years, and he's traveled everywhere. He's wrecked it. He's rebuilt it. He's
he does.
got like
he does
some body
it all.
on it. Doesn't even look like a Celica. I'm like, what the hell is that thing?
It's kind of like a mix between a car and a truck type looking thing. And we're Facebook friends, and I think our dads ran late models back in the day against each other. Stuff like that.
So where's he running that at South Boston? Because didn't he originally come from Langley U-Cars?
Yeah,
he had a
he
Saturn.
runs it all over the place.
Yeah, he runs. It's like the mini.
Literally.
It's like the Carolina mini stock tour or something like that.
Yeah. Are you friends? He runs at Bristol. He does the Bristol race.
Yeah, he went to
But
Bristol.
he originally came from Langley, though.
Yeah. He's a
goes
Langley
to
guy.
Saturn,
Yeah,
'cause
he lives down there.
I'm a big Saturn fan. I've sold a lot of them, and as soon as I was like, "Oh, that car's gonna whoop everybody's ass because it's so light."
Yeah, Langley, especially.
Yeah, that dude, I got a lot of respect
They still
for him.
are.
Like I said, I follow him, and I think I'm probably wrong again because I'm wrong a lot of times. But I'm pretty sure one night he ran Southside Friday, left Southside, went to Dominion, ran Dominion Saturday, and then left Dominion Saturday, and then went to Kinley on Sunday.
Sure.
And went hit 3 tracks in one weekend like it was
wouldn't
nothing.
surprise me at all.
And I think it was just him. I don't think he had anybody with him.
him and his
that's-
dog,
Yeah,
usually.
he's just like, I'm going racing.
Usually he's got his dog.
That to me that's pretty cool.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I respect him so much, and hopefully, is Jesse Danger Jones watching this? But either way, Ryan, if you're not friends with him on Facebook, add him. He knows who you are, I'm sure. But like you were saying, he travels all over the place. He's always doing something. Every week it could be like January 12th. He's like, I'm doing the snowball mini stock race. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. He's like, I'm going to Connecticut. I'm like, what?
He just finished. I think he
Not
just,
really, but-
I just watched it because I do Speed 51 or whatever, and I think he just finished 6th at Dillon for the New Year's Bash.
Yeah.
It's like
He's good. He's consistent. He's good.
He's constantly going racing, and that's awesome in my opinion.
It is cool. And he does I think back in the day they did East Carolina and stuff.
Yeah. He's been
killed
everywhere.
EJ Kinney that one time. Sorry, I had to talk about it. Sorry if EJ's watching, but it was big. I mean, it was.
Oh
big.
yeah.
It was big. All right, so Jamie Height.
Yeah.
Mini stocks would be Jesse Jones.
Yeah.
Jesse Danger Jones. Grand stock, I guess, is the next one up.
Grand stocks. I mean, it's got to be
Street stocks, depending on whatever.
It's got to be my buddy Dan, man. Dan Rogers.
Oh, your friend is Cowboy Dan Rogers.
Yeah, we grew up. Dan actually helped me build in my first grand stock.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty
I've
cool.
known Dan since I was probably about 14.
You think you can get him on the podcast?
I bet you we can. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He'd have his cowboy hat on. He'd be.
Well,
Depends
of
on what
course
time
he
he
would.
starts, but he'd
He's
be
Cowboy
he'd be-
Dan.
God forbid you turn on music, he'll start dancing around, doing all kinds
I
of
would
stuff.
not let him on the podcast if he did not have his cowboy hat on.
And what's really funny about
He's either got to wear the hat or the helmet.
what's really funny about him, and a lot of people don't know this, he used to be a bouncer at some of the biggest clubs, like Have a Nice Day and all that shit downtown.
He's not a small man.
No, well,
No.
I mean, he
will shake your hand off.
he's a little
your body.
tall, but he's country strong, if that makes sense.
Oh, I
He ain't
know.
the biggest
Yeah.
dude, but if he grabs hold
He
of
broke
him,
my wrist when I shook his
yeah,
hand.
it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, like I said, we
Jesus,
pretty much
dude.
grew up together. You know, from the time I was like 14, 15. I used to work. We would work together on Saturdays. He'd come pick me up,
Mhm.
whatever. And we even had to do a summer school stint together. He used to take me to summer school, which once again, sorry, Mom, that
I went
failed
once.
that algebra class. But yeah, they grew up on a chicken farm. You know, so Chicken Man Dan, and
He's a,
we used to go out there with them and
He-
bale hay and
somewhat of
around with
legitimate
the chickens.
cowboy Dan,
Yeah, so yeah, definitely Dan
living up to the name.
Yeah, and he started. He didn't come out the gate like winning races. He worked at it and got good, and then he
No, I
just-
raced him in street stock for a long time.
Yeah, and they just came
He
out
didn't
just
have much success,
Once he
just-
started going, he started dominating.
He had a Camaro, but he didn't have one of the Gano Camaros.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean, so it was kind of like if you're not in the Gano Camaro world, you're just in a lost world of trying to figure out a Camaro against all the G bodies that were almost as fast, but not quite there. There was
Right.
3 or 4 guys that tried to build Camaros outside of that Louisa, I don't know, infrastructure.
Yeah,
and
that
it
area.
doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like bending, cutting springs and shit like that if you want to
Right.
compete with those guys.
Yeah.
And you got decent motors, and you know what I mean. He always had a good looking car.
Yeah.
He had the same paint scheme on the Camaro.
Yeah, it's
Sweet
pretty nice.
looking dude.
Yeah.
I just watched a race the other night where he started on the pole.
Yeah. He actually painted. He painted my first grand stock. We did black exterior, and then we wanted green on the inside. I don't know why I wanted green, but we found a green.
He painted it. He's a painter too.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, he does painting, and he
What does he do for a living?
painting?
Cowboy.
Yeah, he's a cowboy. Farm guy. We worked on farms together. Like I said, we've done all kinds.
I
of
mean,
stuff
I raced
together.
against him in Grand Stock too, but
Yeah.
he just smoked me every time.
Yeah, he
I only
painted-
ran into him twice in the track, and it was like when he had to get moved to the back and had to pass me. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Todd Ruggles can tell you a story about that car. So my first grand stock that we built, Dan painted it, but then we wanted green on the inside, green interior,
That's hideous, bro.
and yeah, it was.
I did a gold interior.
It was like a
It's bad.
1970 Gremlin color green that we picked out. But he sprayed the whole inside. We sprayed it green in his paint booth at his parents' house.
Yeah.
And then Todd Ruggles actually bought that car from me when he moved up to Grand Stock.
Mhm.
And I think it took him like years. He's like, I don't care how much I paint, I can't get this freaking green out of this car. I'm like,
Well,
good
that
luck.
happened to me because I bought Ryan Paul's cage that was fucking green for whatever reason. What is y'all's problem? I don't know. I had a gold entire interior, so no excuse for me either.
Right.
But green, yeah. I mean, I painted that interior, especially the roll bars, probably 6 times. And I'd still, as soon as I'd roll that bitch out in the sunlight, there'd be fucking green everywhere. It's like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna like put a green paint bomb inside of this damn thing and just see if that works. I don't know what to do at that point because
Can't get rid of it.
you literally can't. You know. And we had painted it before it even went in the car, but that wasn't good enough either.
Right.
Yeah, frustrating.
But yeah, definitely Chicken Man. He's a blast too. Yeah, he'd be fun to be on here.
I guess we'll go up to modified.
Modifieds.
Can't pick yourself.
Yeah, it's always a tough one. I don't know. I mean, raced with like a lot of cool guys over the years. I'd have to say if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Michael Johnson.
He's a cool guy.
We've raced together over the years that have been, we've never really gotten into each other intentionally. And if we have wrecked, it's usually nothing that a beer can't fix.
He's just cool guy, much respect.
Yeah, and we won our championship in 17. Like, they were like, one of the first ones. Congratulating us, him and Patrick and all those guys. And you could tell, like, they wouldn't like the, hey, congratulations, trying to be polite. Like, they were
That's
genuinely,
me.
yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah. They were genuinely, like, happy,
Yeah.
for us. And then same thing when they won it. I think he won it the last year. I think he won in 19. like we were the same way. It's like, you know, so awesome, you know.
Yeah, that is.
So probably Michael. I've always enjoyed racing with him. And then quick shout out to like Lauren, the Edge, Edgerton.
Yeah, of course,
You
Lauren
know?
Egerton. Is she watching?
She's
Does
always
she have Facebook?
digging. I don't know if she has Facebook.
I don't think
or not.
she's
She
less
might.
common than you on Facebook.
Yeah. But she's always been fun to race with, and she's cool.
For the
she's
record,
real
this is the most
quiet.
time Kyle's ever spent on Facebook, and it's not intentional.
Right, yeah.
He could
Just
be on
happened to
YouTube
be
for all
here.
he fucking knows, you know? Sorry. Mom
Yeah,
gets hard.
Yep, there you go.
Fudging. We have a lot of fudge over here.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, it's hard to pick against, like, people that you race with. Because, I mean, I've enjoyed racing with everybody, really.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part.
All right, to cap it off, late model.
Late model, like, I don't know, I guess like Southside wise, I mean, I always kind of stick to like my, I guess, I don't know. I feel like we're always underdogs when we go anywhere. So I guess late
I
models,
always like the underdog.
like they haven't run at Southside too much the past couple of years, I think, but definitely like the Pittmans, like Jason Pittman and Raymond Pittman, you know, and those guys.
I worked with one of their sons or nephews or something for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been cool. We used to hang out and party a lot with Jason and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're just like us, you know, not a lot of sponsorship money, but, you know, they build most of their own stuff. They do all their work themselves. And they go out there and race and have fun. If they,
Get
you
it
know,
done low budget.
you know, if they go out there and they don't win, they don't win, but they still have a blast doing it, you know. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. You go out there and race, and if you have fun when it's all said and done, that's all that
You've
matters.
done it.
You know, so definitely. probably
Sometimes
Pittman's.
it obviously can be a little bit more complicated than that. That was going to be another question I have for you is how do you seem to, I guess, stay so competitive? That's always been one of the questions because, you know, when I was young, or when I was really young and I was a fan of you, you were really young. We both still are, but you were
Right.
really young and you had a modified. And I was like everybody your age was like maybe grand stock, street stock, stuff like that. You had a modified. I didn't realize that you got a deal on it. And it was like from 1954, and it's still the one you got now, and shit like that. You know, you dug it out of the ground.
Yeah.
All this, but like, and now that I'm further into the racing thing, I understand that a modified is much more affordable than a late model and easier
Yeah.
to keep up with, or you know, just a much more affordable class. So I understand
Yeah.
it, but how did you afford that? You already kind of told me you got the sponsorship from Frank Silva for a couple $100, and it kind of turned into your sister hooking you up with some sponsorships. But like, was there ever a time when you were entirely underfunded, and was there ever like I don't know, is there ever like a time when you thought about giving up because it was getting so? Because for me, I had sponsorship, I had every quarter panel filled up, and it wasn't enough because obviously I could have marketed myself better and charged more per sponsorship.
Yeah. That's a hard
But
thing
was
to
it-
do, though. Like try
It
to.
is. Yeah, no, it is.
Just,
Exactly.
You know.
But I had the entire car filled up, and I still ran out of money. I'm still spending, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, or maybe more. I can't remember. It was 4 or 5 years ago. But when I tried to go into Grand Stock, I'm still spending so much money out of pocket.
Yeah.
It's like I can't do this anymore. Did you ever have a time like that, and you're like thinking about giving it up? Like, there's just no way that I can maintain this level of competition because obviously you're up and modified. I mean, it's a
Right.
whole different ball game. Luckily, you've had the same chassis for 100 years, but
Yeah, look, it hadn't been damaged too bad. No, I mean, we never thought about anything like that. I mean, we race on what we can race on, you know. So if we've been to racetracks where we don't buy tires,
yeah,
you know, it's like
Well,
we're
me
going
too,
racing,
yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, you can buy up to 2 tires. It's like, I got money for one, let's buy
yeah.
one
But
and
if I
see what
can't pay
happens.
the entry fee, that's what I'm talking about.
Right, yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
we-
happened too.
We've been that lucky where we haven't had to worry, you know, as far as getting in. But with us, everybody pays their own way. You know, like I wish I could, but I've never been able to pay for, you know, Brent, my sister, you know, my dad, like anybody to get in. You know, it's always been, if you help me, you know, it's more than appreciated. But
of course they.
yeah.
And I have much respect for how low budget you are and how successful you are, as far as especially how many wins and championships and stuff you have. That's what is most impressive to me, and that's another reason why I've been a fan of you throughout. But you just always think about those types of things when you're thinking about a low budget team like that. Like
Yeah.
they're like you think just like every 6 months they have that thought process like.
yeah, I mean, it's
Is this like is this too much? Like you're
Yeah.
always thinking about it when you're that underfunded. Not that y'all were that underfunded, but
right.
anybody that is, you kind of always wonder if that's crossing through their mind or if that's an issue or if I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting it on you.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, we've had our moments where, like I said, if we can buy a tire, we buy one tire. If we can't, we can't.
Yeah.
one thing with modifieds is like shocks have become extremely important. Guys are getting shocks built here and there and every which way.
I know they have because everybody's bitching about them.
You know,
Sorry.
this year I'm going to get some different shocks because they finally gave up on us in Florida, and I've been running the same QA1s, $129 shock for the past 5
I was
years.
going to say 129 years.
Yeah.
And that, it would have been
Not
two
quite
and the
that
same.
long.
Yeah.
A $129 shock. I've been running the same shocks for the past 5-6 years. They haven't been rebuilt.
Dang.
They haven't been recharged just because I don't have the money to do it. So I just run them till they pretty much the wheels fall off. And at the end of the Southside in 2019, they had pretty much fallen off because we couldn't get out of our own way. So we just run it as long as we can run, and then figure out how to divvy up what we can buy. And
What's needed, that's another thing, too, is
Yeah.
when you're under budgeted, you have to figure out what's needed to run up front and not what's, this isn't really needed, but we'll buy it anyway.
right, yeah,
A lot of teams do that. Plenty of people see that happening.
Yeah.
When you're under budgeted, you really have to say, like, this is what's going to gain me a tenth, or
Right,
not
yeah.
even really, more like a hundredth or a half of a tenth. And this is where I need to spend money on.
yeah,
And sometimes, like, it
Right,
might
yeah.
have the same body from 2016 or
yeah.
something.
And that's the same thing. Like
That one looks really good. I wouldn't referring
That
to
was
that
actually
one. I don't know
what's
why I
in-
pointed at it, but
yeah,
It's what's needed versus what you want.
exactly.
right, yeah, and that's the way we've done it. And even with what we've got, I mean, it's still a good car. I mean, if a car's straight, it's a good race car. It doesn't really matter how old it is.
Part of what I'm referencing maybe is a little bit of spite. Like people like that were like Grand Stock drivers that, and it's pretty much all of them at this point. They're
Right.
like, oh, I'm running in like 9th in Grand Stock. There's 7 cars. I'm running 9th in Grand Stock, and I don't have any. I'm like at 2 seconds off the pace. I'll spend $4,000 on a body for my car
Right.
to make it not even a Grand Stock
Yeah.
anymore, and still not. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, just
It's
asinine.
like
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Like, you could have put all that money into a motor, or we could go down the road all day.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I said, that's maybe just a personal thing that I'm dealing with. But
No, I mean I
I
think
see
that's
that
what any
happen where
division.
people just blow money on shit that doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's any
Do you
division.
even want to run up front?
Yeah,
Like, or are you just like happy with running in 5th every week, but everything's fresh looking all the time, or
Right.
everything's. It's like, what does that matter? You know what I mean? Like, it does definitely matter, but you got to get to the front before that starts to matter. You
Yeah.
can't start upgrading. I don't know.
yeah, a lot of things is like that. Yeah, people spend money because I mean, if you got the money to spend it, then go for it. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at anybody. It's like you got the money to spend it, go spend it.
There's
go
a
for
reason
it,
why I don't have a picture of my first win up on the wall in here because the car was hideous. Okay, I didn't worry about any of that shit.
Is that
Okay,
from
you know
the
what I'm saying?
Enduro days?
Yeah. Well, street stock technically, but yeah. I mean, we're not.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture. I'll share it on Throwback Thursday or something. But
That's all on Facebook.
it ain't going up in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's busted,
Yeah.
dude.
Hey, it doesn't matter how it looks as long as it runs. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the first, all the wins, pretty much every win until I started driving from Bud Allen, all the cars were busted pretty much for the most part. So, I mean, I never, my biggest concern was always just trying to get the car to the front. And then, you can work out the rest there. Because if you start winning, then it sets up more sponsorships and more
Yeah.
opportunities. And then eventually you can get a new body or whatever. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've always just managed what we can manage, and do the best we can, and then, what we have is what we have. But, a lot of this goes to, too, is Brent. Brent's been with me since 2000 and probably 2. He started helping on the Grand Stock the last year I ran it, and, of course, he grew up working on the modifieds with Pop Moore.
Okay.
And grew up around racing and all that stuff, and so me and him have been, buddy, joined
Forever.
at the hip, for a long,
But he's
long
been
time.
racing for forever anyway.
Yeah, he's always been around it and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he's a big part of this deal.
I know. He's your main crew chief and
Yeah, I
part
think,
of the
I think
supporter
Jennifer
and
calls
everything.
him. Yeah, she calls him the professor, which is pretty smart because he can figure out how to make
Who
the
calls
whole.
him that?
Jennifer, I think Jennifer calls
The
him the
professor.
professor. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You might not be able to see it, viewers, but you've got obviously blue exhaust in that car, which I'm always a huge fan of, and I've repped before. Where did that start? Were you the one that started that, or was it?
No, I think it came about. All it is high temp paint. It's just a high temp.
Well, I know that, but why blue, and why does
I-
you and Bud and Jennifer Allen now do it? And
I don't
how
know.
is it-
I'm pretty sure Pop Moore and them started doing it back in the day, or my dad and them with the late model. I don't
So
know
that's
why.
where it originated.
Yeah, but for some reason, instead of just painting it black, it's like, let's get the high temp blue on there, and then it kind of sticks out.
It's
And,
just badass.
Yeah.
There's just no reason that it's badass.
Yeah,
it's just badass because you have it, and then
Yeah.
Bud Allen started having it. To me,
Yeah.
it's like you always had it. Bud Allen started having it. The cars were always in victory lane. You're like, blue exhaust? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But it's always a victory lane, so I want it.
It's something different, and you know, like I said, this exhaust on it's probably the same one I'm still running now that I've run for the past 6 years. So plus the blue helps when it starts cracking, you can start seeing those little cracks in there.
That's
So,
true. When it gets really, really hot too. Yeah.
you know, so then I try not to buy headers.
Well, here's
every
the thing:
10 years.
is like for our cars, it doesn't match at all.
Well, oh yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
just
It's
sticks
totally,
out.
yeah, it's totally like not at all
Right,
close to a match.
Yeah.
But it still is so badass, and maybe
Yeah.
it's just my own biased opinion because I saw you have it, and it was just like every car in Victory Lane has it.
If you get it put on there good enough, it almost looks like it's like powder coated or something.
I know.
It looks
You know,
cool.
but
It looks
all it is
cool. That's
is
I don't. But I just think
it's
it's my own
$13 a
bias.
can spray paint.
I don't know. I think it's my own bias saying that though, because it's just like you see it and it's cool. I don't
Yeah.
know. Do you have any racing regrets
Any racing regrets?
or regrets from your life? Let's get Dr. Phil
How
personal.
about let's get all real.
Wife
let's
backstage.
see.
What do you think, Amanda?
Don't let her start talking.
What do you think
too
about the
much.
full touring mod schedule?
Yeah, I don't think I really can't say I got any racing stuff. I mean, or life stuff really for that matter. I mean,
I ran into
I'm
a
looking-
guy
I'm
full speed.
cutting my
head
eyes
on.
over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what did she say? She's like
I'm
texting
waiting
me
for her
right
to say
now, like
something.
you better bring up this right now.
no, I mean, we've always had a blast racing. I don't think there's very many times that we've walked away from a racetrack like completely like dejected.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
once or twice where it's just kind of like, man,
Didn't go your
hell,
way, but
but
it's not a regret on your
Yeah.
end.
yeah. But even if you're upset after the race, literally, when you sit around and hang out with your friends and have a couple of beers, it's,
20 of them.
Yeah,
We're
it's
really
like
good
why
at
not?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at one time, our 6-pack racing group, I mean, we had, I was running modifieds, my dad was running modifieds, Ryan Boggs was running modifieds, Holly was running modifieds, Stacy's running modifieds, we had Rusty Bennett, Frank running the U cars, 8 cars between, 10 people.
Yeah, that's pretty
You know.
crucial. Ryan Boggs said earlier, dang, y'all started early.
Yes.
Who told him 10? That's the old schedule.
He's always behind.
All right, well, we blame you now, Ryan Boggs. All right, so the blue exhaust is just cool. We'll just leave it at that. It just kind of came from back in the day, your dad and your dad's
Yeah,
friends.
I don't know
doing it.
exactly where it came from, but we've always done it.
Yeah, that's badass, though. Do you listen to any podcasts? Outside, I know you don't get on Facebook or like you're like almost on the Chris Dodson level. Like you're almost there, but
I don't think I ever get on that level, bro.
well, yeah, he's like a methodical creature. He's not on Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
nothing. Do you even have an Instagram? You got an Instagram, everything, don't you? You just don't get on them.
I had Instagram when somebody started doing that Virginia racing meme thing.
Yes.
I literally got it.
That
for
was funny.
Yeah,
That's
that was
what I got it for.
hilarious.
I sent
yeah.
in quite a few.
Yeah, that's all like I got it for. And now every once in a while I get on there just to see, and there's like, it's kind of died off. So
Yeah,
not
I
really.
know.
I do the Facebook thing.
I haven't entered in the group for a while, but I had to get out, and then I didn't have to get out. But then I got out, and then like
Sorry, Mom.
they didn't post as much, so it's like
Right.
I wish they would post more though. Whoever's running it.
Yeah,
I don't know who's
whoever's
running it.
behind the scenes that nobody can quite figure
Well, I
out.
knew who was all in the group back in the day, but I don't know who's actually running it. Like who's
Right.
the actual began the page and everything.
You
Like,
said
I
you
entered
made
into
it.
the
You made some. So are you the one that's behind
well, I
it
made
all?
some and sent it in, and then I actually became part of the group of like 5 people.
That was sending in and everything.
I'm not going
All
to
the
name drop the
different
other 4. I'm just saying. I'm
But
just
you're
saying
part of that group, though.
I was. I'm
I
not
was,
anymore.
yeah.
But it's
They
crazy.
changed the password, but out of those 4, I don't know which one was the main person.
It's crazy how that started, and it's like literally nobody knows who the hell did it or who's.
I don't even
Yeah.
know when I was in it.
I know.
Like, and I'm not lying to y'all. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not going to name drop the other 4 that are in it. I do know that, but I'm not going to do that. But I still don't. I still
Especially-
don't know who started it. That was never
Yeah.
talked about.
That's
I was
actually
only
pretty
there for like
crazy.
2 weeks, but yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was
especially,
funny though.
especially in the racing community because everybody knows everything. Everybody, like if you get a new
It's a
car,
short-
somebody's like, "Did you see that so and so just
Yeah,
picked this
I saw,
up?" And
I
it's
saw a
like,
new car coming from Brett.
yeah, and next thing you
yesterday.
know, it's been spread everywhere. It's like somebody's trailer is up at Brett's or somebody
Short track,
yeah.
small circle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I mean,
It's, Amanda would say it's our. What
But that's what made it
our
funnier.
It's our soap opera, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what made it funnier though, because a lot of them were like deep cuts. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
a lot of them
yeah.
were like not personal, like his wife. You know, like that
Right.
was
Yeah.
crazy,
not too
but
crazy, but
still pretty personal, like to where it was like, damn,
hurts people's egos pretty much.
Yeah, I
Probably.
was like, yikes, I like that, but that's about it. I'm not commenting on that one.
Right.
Yeah, that was a funny page. All right, whoever's running that page, if you're watching now, Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Now you're
get it going
change
again.
the Southside Speedway means it's going to be. They changed it to Virginia Racing.
Yeah, it's like
Memes for a
Virginia
while.
Racing memes. And
Is that what it
East
is now?
Coast. I think it's Virginia Racing
I don't get
memes
on
now
Instagram
again,
that much.
yeah.
I'm mostly a Facebook and Twitter guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Twitter sucks.
I got on Twitter, but it's been like waiting to upload
Don't
on
worry
my
about
phone
it.
for
Everybody
years.
sucks. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Everybody's like,
double
Twitter.
dip.
And then I could go into that for a while, but I'm not going to. It's y'all are,
Get on that rant.
Yeah. Go back to the first 30 episodes. You don't listen to any podcasts, though?
I do at work. Mine, I'm into like paranormal stuff. I don't
Really?
know. It's probably kind of weird, but
I don't
like
think so. A lot of them are either paranormal or like
Yeah.
CSI, like Law and Order type stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
well, maybe I'm in like the group then. Yeah, I listen to like Astonishing Legends, which does like all kinds of like folklore and paranormal stuff, and then Small Town Murder. There's these two
I've heard of
comedians
that one.
or whatever. Which obviously murder's not funny, but the way they
I think it's
spin
hilarious.
it, like it's
Tina, if Tina were
it's
out
pretty
here,
good.
she'd be laughing her head off. If she
Yeah.
heard the word murder, she'd be
Right.
dying. She's like, "Oh, softcore murder," or like, "Okay, Tina, settle down."
All right, so Patrick just said, because Tina's not in here,
Mm-hmm.
Patrick just said the Southside memes were done by a certain driver who I will not say LOL, but they used my picture as if I was doing it.
What does Tina have to do with that?
Because she's the one that...
He said it in the comments. I
Oh.
thought he texted you. I'm like, well, what does that have to
No,
why do we have
no,
to grade?
I'm looking at...
Okay.
I'm
I got you. I'm
following
reading
on
off comments.
Facebook.
Okay, my bad.
I feel like he's like trying to start into the
Yeah, I'm not. I've got it on here, but I'm not.
yeah, he's trying to start into the stand in the producer role over here or something all of a sudden.
Well, he is, but I think it was a little bit of guilt because he's the one that handles the page, and he's trying to back out of it.
Yeah,
a little
he's
bit.
trying-
It's
he's trying to
his
make sure they get
page. He's
caught.
like,
Yeah.
Patrick Fisher said that it definitely wasn't me.
backpedaling.
That's all he said. That it definitely wasn't Hollywood. But it was a funny page. I wish they would do more again. But it's better when it's the Southside because everything's personal. When you
Right,
start
yeah.
to spread it out amongst the tracks, it's all kind of just like nuance.
Yeah,
But it's so cool. I mean, it's
it,
so
it,
funny.
it was funny at the time. Of course, maybe not to some people, but I mean, even the people that might have been offended, like they still got to see the humor in them because I mean, they're
no, I
pretty
don't think
good.
anybody was genuinely offended. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Do you listen to Dale Jr. download anything like that?
I haven't. I've listened to like one or two. I listened to like the Rick Mass. I think Brent. Man, we were going to Kenley just to watch. We didn't take a car this year, just to go down there and watch it. And we listened to that one, which was cool. Like Rick Mass, because he was talking about Southside and stuff like that, where he bounced around
Damn, I gotta
and
watch
racing
that one.
there. It's
listen
actually
to-
a really good one. Yeah,
Do you listen to it or do you watch it
I just listened to it. I mean,
on like Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
yeah,
or something?
Yeah,
What do you normally use?
I usually just use Apple Podcasts
I'm just curious because it's like
because that's the one
this
that's
thing I
built
use-
into my phone. So I just
yeah, I
clicked
know,
on that
it's
one.
easiest
Makes it
one.
easy.
Yeah, God forbid he has to download an app.
Yeah, we don't want to do all that.
Yeah, Jesus. Better find a needle in the ocean before you could do that. You said fantasy NASCAR. You're gonna play with Josh.
Yeah.
NFL. You're the football team fan.
We are.
And have you ever had any success in fantasy football? Have you ever won? I've never won. I've been playing like 5 years. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do like a league, and then we started doing the FanDuel. Now
I know you do a league. Have you ever won it though?
I won it like twice, like back
Everybody
in the day.
plays it.
Yeah, like back in the day. But now it's strictly like FanDuel, which is cool because you can actually set up like private leagues on FanDuel
Oh yeah, I've never
with
done
your friends
that,
and stuff like that. So like
Uh-huh.
this year we had like 19 people. It was
Oh,
$50 to enter, and weekly it paid out like the winner take all. So you win like $26.50 each week out of 19 people, and then at the end of the year it paid out like 270 something.
Sweet.
Which is cool because then most fantasy football somebody's got to handle all the money and do everything. Well,
Yeah.
FanDuel does it all for you. So,
Yeah.
you don't ever have
They're
to touch
your
it.
commissioner.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. We do that
Josh
a
is
lot.
our commissioner for fantasy NASCAR. He's good at it. I mean, the military is not as strict as my brother Josh. That's what I'm saying. He fits that role
Yeah,
perfect.
so I actually did see where he posted on Facebook, so I sent him a message. I was like, hey, I'd be into this.
the military was kind of strict until Josh got into it, and then they had to tighten up the rules. So he will stay on top of the money. I think he's got PayPal now and everything, but no,
Yeah.
he's down.
Yeah.
And the league, I think, should be decent size. I need to make a post on Facebook, and you can too. He won't mind as long as whoever says I want in has
Yeah,
PayPal
yeah.
and they can send it right then.
Right, yeah.
They just don't do the I want in, and then the season starts and they're like, oh, I haven't sent any money.
Yeah.
But no, he's totally legit with the commissioner. But I do understand that is kind of easy because it's just like it's logged in the computer. And
Yeah,
it's
once
right
you pay,
there.
you got to pay the
Not
site,
that, but it
and then
pays
you're
right
done.
off. Like
yeah.
once it's done,
Yeah, it goes right to you.
as
Yeah.
far as us, like you got to not mailing a check, but you got to do PayPal, and then once the season's over, it
Yeah.
takes a couple days.
He's probably thinking I'm that guy because I was like, I'm totally in, and he was like, yeah, send it to the PayPal and make sure you download the app and join this league, and I mean, I'm gonna do it. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I know.
So he's probably like, he's not gonna do this. It's like, I'll get to it, Josh. If you're
Makes you
watching.
feel better. I haven't done it either, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. We're two in the same.
Yeah.
NASCAR trivia. And are we gonna do whoever's? All right. We're gonna do NASCAR trivia.
All right.
Whoever loses, are you doing it too, Hollywood? You're a NASCAR trivia guy, huh? You don't do spicy food though. He'll die.
I'm not a big trivia.
Tina will
person.
laugh.
Kyle's
if
gonna,
you die because
Kyle's
of
gonna
hot
wax
sauce.
your ass on this, I think. So I'm out.
I mean, I don't know.
Whoever
Give me credit.
loses trivia has to do a spicy wing.
I'm down with that.
Amanda included.
Are you sure?
If
Yeah.
it was Southside
you sure?
trivia,
I'm sure.
you-
Like, what kind of spice? Like, I see you got some stuff up here.
Any
Like,
of them but the left two. Any of those three on the right.
any of the three on the right.
And the right one's probably the least hot, but it's horrible. They're all terrible.
They're
all really
terrible.
bad, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've eaten them all at least 3 or 4 times each.
Now, is this I've seen this show, The Hot Ones. I have
Have you?
watched that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a
Yeah.
fan of that show?
Yeah.
That's the hottest one. And I think that if you are a fan of that show, you should at least... That's not the hottest one up there.
Right. I've seen people almost like cry over that one though. Like, or that
Well,
was the
You can do the
bomb.
middle one if you want instead.
I thought you just said, oh no, the 3 to the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just remember how far we got.
You
to go
haven't
home.
even lost yet. He hasn't
We're
even lost yet. He's
driving
like,
you.
I'll do that
It was
one.
like, can I cheat and then we'll do the thing, and then if I win, then I'll watch you suffer.
No phone from Amanda, no Googling, no looking over the shoulder.
Yeah.
All right, NASCAR trivia. Let's go.
What year was NASCAR founded?
You did that one last night.
No, I didn't.
1949.
Oh,
Oh,
no, it had to be before that. 1941.
Do I get another guess?
Would you say 49?
I said 49. Should have said 59.
Yeah,
So,
bring that down.
No.
Okay, so before
She
we
knows
go,
how to pull it down,
Before we
too.
go any further,
My wife's already shaking
what
her
if
head
y'all
no.
are both wrong?
How does she know? See, this is collision.
And it's a pass. If they're both wrong, we
If
have
they're
to
both
pass.
wrong,
I
Let me
think.
see your
they both
phone.
have-
Oh, I do. Okay, can I tell a funny story? Can I answer the question real quick, and then I'll tell a funny story about it?
Yeah. Okay.
1948. Right?
What's the story?
So I took Amanda to a Richmond race when we had been dating. I don't know how long we'd been dating. They hadn't been too awful long. But she had picked, I was like, pick a driver or something like that. And she settled on Jimmy Johnson. So he was 48. So I think I went to the bathroom or something. And I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And I walked by the, souvenir stand. It's like, oh, so I'll get her a hat. And it said NASCAR. And I saw 48. So I was just like, grabbed it. I was
Jimmy
like, oh,
Johnson.
sweet. Yeah.
There you go.
And bought it. But I think it was NASCAR 1948, right? For the year that NASCAR started. So when I gave it to her, she's like, oh, nice. I'm like, yeah, Jimmy Johnson. She's like, NASCAR 1948. I'm like,
You dummy.
so
He was close.
so she has a hat that has NASCAR 1948
So you knew
on it.
where it was, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's I said no collusion. Yeah. Look away, Amanda. No. Put a screen in front of her.
So and
You
I
have to
prob-
look at Lindsay the whole time.
And after that story, I probably could still be wrong. So
There's a lot on the line here if you don't know, okay? I'm not trying to eat one of these hot sauces.
So, but if both of y'all are wrong, will y'all both get the sauce?
No, he was closer. We're going to round.
Is it one per question, or is it just like...
No, we were definitely both wrong, and nobody gets those. Yeah.
All right, so who's
No, he
keeping
would get it.
score here?
I am.
Any of
Okay.
us can. It's only going to be 6 questions.
Yeah.
He won that one.
So what year was it?
1948.
1948.
Bastard.
I know.
Sorry.
I should always
Mom
just
watch?
look at my wife, and she wouldn't have to tell me anything. She'd just like look at me like
No, see, no
disappointed.
looking. No looking. This is collusion. Tina just. All right, I'm going to. That's the answer.
Hey, look, I do totally agree. That was probably the only one that Amanda can help him with.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, she's
fair
done
enough,
after that.
fair enough.
All right,
Because
all
she
right.
got a stupid gift from me.
And they are multiple. They are multiple choice if we need them.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to answer them without.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. What year...
Talk up in the mic.
What
Move
year,
the mic.
My God.
I said earlier, I defended you. I said she knows how to move it. And then she's just like,
This is the one I'm still torn off about the leg.
what year?
What year did Jeff Gordon not win the Daytona 500?
That could be a lot of years.
Yeah.
Okay, out of the
Who
4.
came up with
Out of
Yeah.
the 4,
Okay.
2005, 1998, 1999, or 1997?
1999.
I'm gonna say 97.
Y'all are both wrong. It's 98.
Oh, we kind of hit in the middle, right?
Hold on.
We round down. I win. All right. Tie on that one.
Yeah.
1-0 still.
I hope we get at least one of these right.
Well, you already
Well,
got
you
one
already
right,
got one right.
bastard. All right.
I kind of cheated, but we'll take
Well,
What
a
new
gray
safety
area.
measure did NASCAR introduce in 1994?
what new safety measure?
the flip flaps.
Is that the technical term?
Did you say foot?
I think I heard the
Flip
flip
flaps.
flaps.
Foot flaps, but you're up
Flip,
here.
no, the flip flaps.
If I give the professional
Hood roofs?
official,
You can't use my answer. I answer first. Is
the hood flaps.
that what they're called? Being
Well,
on the roof?
There's
about
roof
hood or
flaps.
roof flaps?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You said roof flaps, but they also had them on the hood too. I think
When it's all of them, they're called the flip flaps.
the flip.
All right, what's your answer? New in
Yours are-
1994?
You said hood flaps, and you said flip flops.
Don't give him that. He got it off of my answer. Is that what it was?
No.
I was
Okay.
about to say, I don't think it's
All right, guess then.
Was it the Earnhardt bar, the third bar in the windshield? No.
Do you want multiple choice?
Yeah.
No, if I give you multiple choice. The correct answer is roof flaps.
I said
Oh,
hood
well,
flaps
yeah,
or
You
roof
said
flaps.
flip-
I'll give it to you. You got
No, I
flip
said
flaps.
hood or roof flaps.
Okay, that's fair.
If you're counting both of them, I didn't know where the
Yeah,
answer was going to go.
you said flip flaps. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
So
One
been
to one.
drinking. We're one
All
to
right.
one.
Yeah.
so we're tied.
I
Okay.
stuttered. I'm drunk. All right. Next.
Not
one.
me, Mom.
Tied
These
up.
are water in these PBRs.
Tied up, and what are we going to do out of 5? We'll
We've
just do
got 3
best out of 3.
questions left,
Yeah,
so
3 to go.
one of you has to win.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, we can download another one if we have to. We're really sucking.
Who was the first woman to cinch a pole position in the NASCAR Nationwide Series? Would you like the multiple choices?
Yes. Would you? Make a guess.
Can I take a guess? I'm going to go Patty Louise.
I'm going to go Janet Guthrie.
Oh,
Ooh, that's good.
Guthrie.
Guthrie.
yeah.
No.
No.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice, I guess, would work. Would be pretty good.
If those two are in there, take them out. What are the other two, Tina?
A or C.
Shauna Robinson, Sarah Christian, or Danica Patrick?
Danica Patrick.
Shauna.
It's Shauna.
Yeah. When has
How did I answer first?
Danica did get the pole at
Seriously?
Daytona one year, but
Honestly, Ethan.
What?
he's just being a nice host and let me
Honestly,
let
why?
me get one.
2-1.
I called that one backstage here.
Danica
Did you?
was not
Yeah,
gonna
I
be the
did.
first
Dude, you should have
woman to
texted
cinch
me,
a
bro. I got my phone right there. What the? Do you want to see him eat the hot dogs or me? You can go to episode 32 and see me eat it.
Which NASCAR driver holds the record for the most consecutive wins in this season? Would you like the multiple choice?
I don't feel like they would need one on this one.
No?
Text me the multiple choice. He doesn't get it.
It's one of those things we probably shouldn't need it, but we're probably gonna need
Just
it.
go ahead and give it to us.
It
And
depends
we
on
got
how
all
far
right.
back
Go
in
ahead
the
and give it
you're
to us, but we
talking.
got to
Okay.
write down the answers.
Well, to 1948.
Yeah, there you go. Get a piece of paper there, so we're not. So when you say something, I just don't copy you.
Hey, this goes
Yes,
back to
great idea.
1948. Y'all might need the multiple
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, because remember that's when NASCAR started. It was 1948.
Right, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Your wife told you that.
Give me one of those.
Oh, you want one too?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, are you ready? Richard Petty, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt.
I could have guessed all those answers. Damn. Those
you
are the most consecutive races in 1 year.
The record for the most consecutive wins in a season.
Consecutive.
In all
wins
honesty,
a season.
they'd be the 4 damn people you would
Yeah, they
expect
would.
to hear.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's who you would expect.
Yeah.
Exception maybe Lee Petty somewhere in there. But
All right. Richard.
Jimmy Johnson.
Richard.
Oh, look at you.
2-2.
Is it
All
2-2
right,
or you,
ladies and gentlemen,
I think-
this
You said
is
who's gonna
our
keep count?
tiebreaker question for the evening.
2-1.
I think-
No, we're 2-2.
yeah, we're
Was
2.
it?
Oh,
Okay.
hey,
Yeah.
they say we're 2-2. Everybody
Yeah.
calm down there. Let's go with what they said, not us.
it's their show.
I think it's 3-0. Me.
I don't know, you guys, to be honest.
The last I remember. All right.
Okay.
For the
For the win.
final.
Here we go.
How many attempts did it take Darrell Waltrip to win the Daytona 500? Do you want the multiple choice?
Yeah, probably on that because
Yeah?
unless,
Yeah, I'm gonna say
unless
3.
you're that good, if you can just spit it off right now, I'll eat 2 hot wings.
Ooh.
I just put a 3 in my hand, but anyway, keep going. Yeah.
11, 17, 8, or 23?
Shit. That wasn't one of my guesses. It's in the double digits, huh? Wow.
Or 8?
8, 11, 17, 23?
Yep.
Get off my answer, bro.
I'm slowly cocking my eye that way.
Don't. Hey. Collusion. If he wins this.
I guarantee you, she
Okay.
don't know.
It's
And her phone is not in
I
her
got
hand.
17.
11.
It's 17.
You know what's really funny? Pow! You know what's really funny about that? Wasn't he running the number 17 when
He
he
was
won?
driving the 17
Is that how
Tide
you
car.
remembered it?
That's how he did his little dance and slammed his
finally
helmet
won
down.
the
and-
I remember that dance.
500.
He did like the icky shuffle or
Yeah,
something
the
like
icky
that.
shuffle.
Okay.
Threw his helmet on the
All
ground.
right.
That's the wing and the damn. All right, which sauce
I
would you
said
like
11,
me to do?
though.
Well, you already said
you
this
just
one's
pick one.
terrible, right?
That one's
But it's
the
not
least
hot,
hot, but
it
it's
just
terrible
tastes bad.
taste. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to make
The
you
worst
take something
is Wicked
terrible.
Tickle.
None of them are
That's
good. It's pretty much freelance here.
Let's see here.
That's what it's a Wicked Tickle.
Give me a little plate.
The one in the middle?
That one right there?
Yeah. That one's awful.
That's my least favorite one, bro. Why, Jesse?
Hey, I'm just listening to the crowd back there, you know. The peanut gallery.
It's popcorn chicken.
Tina laughs when people die. Why would you listen to her?
I mean,
I thought you said
That is-
why she
She
didn't
fall
laugh.
off and bleed. She'd be like,
Well, she would laugh
Yeah.
at that, but I thought you said she wouldn't laugh if you
the
died.
losing the leg
Do you want me
was
to
not
do
the
it?
reaction I was expecting from you.
okay.
Do you want me to do it with you? Would that make you feel better?
No, there's one up there that you haven't tried if you want to try it.
Okay.
Actually, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. It's all about me dying right now and you can laugh.
Like,
A little bit.
I mean, I kind of feel guilty because I did kind of get like
You
one
want to
little.
join in?
I've
You
done
want to
this before.
experience the pain?
I've done this before where I won and then felt guilty for the guy.
That's
that
true.
did it.
You did. You ate a
Yeah,
habanero pepper.
And
with
then I
a
died. I
good
threw up
friend
for
of
45
ours.
minutes, but no big
They
deal.
cried together.
All right,
and drink
It wasn't a
I'll do
sauce.
it with you
All right.
just because
Oh,
I'm
you're really
that kind of
putting
guy.
That's mighty
You're really
brave.
putting a lot of sauce on there, Ethan.
It's not that much.
Ugh.
Is that too much?
It's good.
Is that too much?
Yeah. Don't,
Cheers.
Yeah.
Don't touch my finger, Corona.
See, I would just barely touch the
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah. That's awful.
It's really bad. I'm telling you,
He's looking for an exit route
It's
already.
getting all sketchy now.
there's someone you haven't tried.
I have tried that one.
Have you?
So what's,
You know,
what's the verdict, Kyle?
He's getting pink.
it's kind of a gasoline taste. Whoa. I've never had gas, but I'm guessing that's what it's going to taste like.
It's like, have you ever seen one of those circus people swallow the flame stick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like that.
Well, the worst part is I'm trying to swallow it, but I can't.
Well, your body won't let you.
Like it's not going
Give me a
down.
beer.
I'm not gonna lie, the PBR was kind of giving me the burps a little bit, but
There we go.
now it's really kind of.
Yeah. I can't feel my face or my teeth.
Said my body won't let me swallow it.
It won't.
I was so intrigued. I was going to
Do it.
try. No.
Do it.
No, he just said his body won't let him swallow.
It's an
I'm out.
experience. It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, there's not much sauce left on that. And if you do it, Lindsay has to do it. We're going
Yeah.
in a circle.
I'll do
Yeah.
it with you if it makes you feel better.
If you think about it,
Just going around the room.
I
you
mean,
better hope Lindsay doesn't do it, Amanda.
somebody got to get us home tonight.
And let's be honest, Amanda's the only reason he even won that competition, so she should have to do it first.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was like, man,
Just kidding, Amanda. You don't have to do it at all.
It
Come
on,
tastes
Justin.
terrible,
She's Colombian.
Yeah?
Don't let her talk you into it.
but now it just burns.
It's bad.
It just burns.
Look, I'm smart. I'm taking the biggest
shivering.
nugget here.
Yeah.
Do we have a heater in here again?
Yeah.
I've got the cold sweat.
Look, that's all.
Once
I'm doing.
again, Mom, she's like, don't go in there drinking too many of them beers. I'm like, well,
You didn't drink that many. I drank 2 of those before you got here.
yeah, it's like, we're doing good. But then she's probably sitting there shaking her head now, watching us go, whew, woo. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
your face back there is like,
Ryan's going to not be good.
yeah. It's not even hitting you yet. Like, that's nothing.
Get Ryan a beer. He's got some?
Yeah, that is nothing right there.
Can't even do buffalo chicken.
Yeah, the beginning's easy, Ryan.
Oh my god.
You lie.
Wait till you
He's
swallow
doing
it.
pretty good. He's doing pretty good.
I thought it
I
was
was
too.
doing worse. I started sweating right away.
I think I looked at the camera one time. I was like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
But now my roof of
I
the
look
mouth
in
is like
fear,
hurting.
like-
Yeah, it'll swell a little bit.
Like roller coaster ride. That was my picture.
Yeah, I feel like my tongue's just a little bigger than usual.
Yeah. It's swelled up.
Woo!
It's bruised.
I totally didn't ask about any allergies.
Ryan needs milk.
Damn right.
Okay.
I bet you could do that gallon now.
Everybody's mad at us because
probably
we're going
could.
like this into the mic.
Oh, we breathing
Like
too
some
heavy?
weird ASMR.
As in we, I mean me. I'm trying to host the show and breathing like a dragon.
Yeah. I'm doing my best to.
You're doing good,
The
buddy.
belt is
You're
out
doing
over
good.
here, and then get back
I've had
this
all
way.
these.
Back this way.
I've had all these, and I'm handling it. I can't talk. I can't do L's anymore because my tongue's off.
Oh, he's eating ice over
I'm
here.
fucking shoveling ice.
Just
Dude,
have
it's
that
hot.
last chicken
Have
wing.
some more wings. Yeah.
No, screw you.
There's only one left. I was gonna eat one. There's only one
here.
left.
Yeah, there's two.
I ain't gonna lie, that was like wasn't that bad at first, but shoot.
It's not till you swallow. That's
Kobe. All right.
All right. Keep going.
Kyle, thanks for joining us, buddy. We'll die
Hey.
in peace.
I had a blast, man.
Of
Thanks for
course,
having
Tina's
us.
laughing very hard. Thank
I
you.
didn't
say-
Yeah, thank you for joining us again.
Swallow
Double
razor
cheers.
blades.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you for Hollywood for coming back and producing and doing the death sauce and literally dying. I think he's dead.
Thank you for Lindsay for driving.
Thank you for Lindsay for the DD and Amanda for not telling everybody that the bad things about Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Right.
Tina for laughing that some guy died or something.
Just his leg.
Yeah. Just somebody's leg got sawed off, somebody's tongue fell off, she laughed, made it all fun. We love you all. Like and subscribe on YouTube, on Facebook. I can't find my cup 'cause my eyes are closed. And
I was making a beeline for the door.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Radio Club, Radio Casts, Google Podcasts, all the above. Wherever you find your podcast, end it now.